Yet another new venue in Formula One. Well, not really a new venue because it's exactly where we were racing last weekend, but a new track layout. Unusual to see that, and Formula One just sort of trying something different just to get another race on the calendar. And for this one, they've gone for a really weird thing, really weird in Formula One context, not weird in terms of shape because it's pretty banal. It's a square. It's got the same finishing straight and the same turns 1, 2 and 3 up to the next straight. Then you get to turn 4, but instead of then coming down the hill, you stay at the top of the hill and you actually go through a pretty impressive series of corners. There's a quick corner there which will be 5th gear, 5th, maybe 6th, and it won't be flat on simulation, so that'll be good. We must watch out for that. And then as they come up to what is the old, I think it's turn 13, the right-hander leading onto the back straight, before the finishing straight, that corner is preceded by a braking zone from pretty high speed, which is pretty standard for Bahrain, but more importantly there will be lateral load in the car coming out of another quick corner, so that will require a bit of the old turn 9-10 finesse of transferring the lateral G into longitudinal G in the most efficient way possible, creating the flat car that we've been talking about. And it'll be fun to watch drivers doing that and experimenting with that because it's all unused territory. The race, the predicted lap time is around 54 seconds, which has got to make it the shortest lap ever in the history of Formula One. Racking my brain to think about the next, but I suppose it's Dijon, French Grand Prix, Swiss Grand Prix, Dijon was pretty short lap as well. Those, of course, who've raced on the Brands short circuit will find none of this surprising. But think Brands short circuit, and I suppose you're not that far away. Be 60% full throttle, which puts about number 2, I think, in the category there. I think Monza's still ahead at about 63%. But this means that it'll still be a power circuit, obviously. So don't expect miracles from Ferrari on a square circuit where you could think, oh, well, maybe it's going to throw all the cards in the air and everybody's going to have a chance to do well. I mean, there could well be other variables coming into play, of course. You know, there could be million safety cars, whatever. But in terms of performance, it's an engine circuit still, and therefore Ferrari will be struggling, as indeed they did last week. They'll be taking off wing to try to get top speed, and they'll be suffering around the corners, and that's what we saw. That's what we weren't seeing in the races preceding Bahrain because it wasn't so critical there. But you know, where it's power, Ferrari are going to be really in trouble. The race is starting later than last week's race, starting at 8 o'clock local time. It eventually started at 6 effectively in last weekend, but 2 hours more. That means slightly cooler air temperatures, ambience obviously, probably be about 22, 23 degrees max, I would have thought. Same compound range from Pirelli, so no change there. Very rough surface in Bahrain. I'd forgotten how rough it is. It hasn't been resurfaced for a long time, and that's what causes a lot of the tyre degradation, particularly in traction episodes. And there will still be quite a lot of traction requirements, obviously, in this new circuit coming out of those slow corners. So degradation, probably you could say less because there are fewer corners, but nonetheless all those traction zones remain, and Bahrain is very tough in terms of its wear because of its rough surface. So that isn't going to change that much, I don't think. Another element of the Bahrain Grand Prix was Max's aggression off the line at the restart to make sure he got ahead of Sergio at all costs, and that's raising a few eyebrows again in the pit lane. The whole Max Verstappen, is he being over aggressive, is coming to the surface. I kind of understand where Max is coming from with Sergio. I've made the point several times. He is the hardest guy to overtake in Formula One, and if you're going to make sure anything going into the first corner that you get in front of Sergio Perez, and I think that's what going through Max's mind. But you know, obviously he got away with it, and that was there. But I think, you know, the word I'm getting is that there are a few people out there saying, Max, cool it a bit. You know, you got to cool it. So it'll be interesting to see this weekend how he gets on and where he goes with overtaking and so forth. And the other weird one for me, again involved Racing Point, was Lance Stroll not getting into Q3. And I was under the impression, maybe I'm the only guy in the world was under this impression, but I was, from what Lance was saying and what the team was saying, that he wanted to be on a new set of mediums going out at the restart of Q2, and he was on the old set, the original set, which is why he didn't get through. But actually it turns out that there was no choice there in terms of mediums. It was either stay on the mediums he was on, which had only been done in basically a lap and a half, or run soft tyres. Nobody really wanted to go into the race with the soft tyre, but Carlos Sainz did, and actually, as it turned out, it wasn't a bad choice. As we saw, he did quite a lot of laps on that soft tyre. So had Lance been on the soft tyre and got into Q3, it probably would have all been fine. But they took the decision to keep him on the medium because everybody at that point was thinking, we don't want to be on the soft. And so I just wanted to clarify that point, because I was under the impression that there was an option there, but there wasn't. They didn't have any new mediums left anyway. And I think that brings me to another point, which is that I'm not quite sure how relevant this is, but there's always this thing about what tyres the teams have chosen for each Grand Prix. And normally we don't really think about that very much. We just sort of, oh yeah, okay, and we just carry on, and the race weekend happens, and basically everybody seems to have the same choice, more or less, at various stages of the weekend. But that wasn't the case in Bahrain. Much more than normal, we saw teams running out of tyres that they wanted to run at specific moments, and that was a little bit the case with Max with the medium tyre at the restart, and it was the case obviously with Stroll in qualifying. And so they're locked into that choice. They're locked into it for this weekend as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams will have adapted that situation at all, and what they start running on when they first go out. So lots of little things, but that's basically it as we drive through what is a beautiful Richmond Park in London on a very crisp winter's morning in the Elan, which is going pretty well. I mean, the annoying thing is not being able to really stretch it at the moment, but we'll find a bit of road somewhere which to have some fun.